Welcome, Wargamers, to another MESBG YouTube channel video. I'm Chris, and today I'll be introducing the start of our 100 scenario campaign, linked narrative campaign. The reason it is linked is because we'll be doing it sort of chronologically, as best as my memory serves, and the reason it's, so that's why it's narrative, the reason it's linked is because we'll be using, well, heroes that may die throughout and then change alternate participants through the history of it, and yeah, that sort of thing. Anyway, I'll explain which ones we're doing, and then I'll give you a better idea of actually what I'm on about. So we'll be doing all the scenarios from the Ruin of Arnor book, and then going into Fall of the Necromancer, Shadow in the East, Shadow and Flame, and then we'll be going into the Fellowship of the Ring Journey book, Two Towers Journey book, Return of the King / Gondor at War. The Two Towers one may change slightly depending on the Rohan, or War in Rohan, whatever it's called, release. And then going to do some Battle of Dale, Assault on Lothlorien scenarios that are found at the back of the very old Return of the King rulebook, and then finish with Scouring of the Shire. So we'll be starting with, like I say, with the Ruin of Arnor, which is broken into two mini campaigns. There's two sets of three. So one is actually called Ruin of Arnor, and the other one is called Isildur, which is obviously the Rise of Aragorn. I'm filming this after we've already filmed the first three, so I know what happens. There's just a little bit of an intro to explain what is going on. So me, Tom and Luke have already started, as you'll see in a moment, the To Kill a King scenario. So going back to what I said about it being linked, the heroes will have to roll at the end of each scenario, because I've taken inspiration from the Fellowship of the Ring Journey book recovery system. We'll have to roll for each at the end of each scenario to regain their stats. So heroes could die before they're meant to, they could make it further than they're meant to, who knows. That is the fun of it. We are using all new rules, because you may have seen on the channel before, and if you haven't, go check out because they're good fun. We did the Shadow and Flame campaign and the Fall of the Necromancer campaign, which, although amazingly good fun and a great watch, it was a bit of a pain going back and forth and trying to remember what you can and can't do in the old rules when they're published. So we're going to do all new rules, see how that balances up, because again, it is just for fun, and to see what happens. So without further ado, scenario 1 is To Kill a King. I may have described this in the video we're about to cut to, but in case I didn't, the general premise is the Witch King has really started to begin to amass his forces and trying to break through the defences of Fornost, and the outer defences are made of proper Númenórean stone, proper fortress, and while the orcs and trolls are trying to break through that, the spirits have gone ahead to look for and kill Arnor before he can make his escape. So that's the narrative of this scenario, so I hope you enjoy it, and we'll cut to it there. So this is Tom and Luke getting ready to roll for who is good and evil in the first scenario. To Kill a King. This is a horrible start. So whoever rolls higher,
I've seen this film before.
whoever's higher is going to be good. Tom gets a 6. So happy with good? Cool. So Tom will get Malbeth, Captain, 9 warriors, and the King of the North himself, who he must protect. I'll run through the objectives in a minute. Luke gets a Shade, 2 Barrow Wights, and 6 Spectres. So the idea of this scenario is that on the outskirts of Arnor, the Witch King is sort of sent his orcs and trolls to break through the Númenórean structured fortress, and while they're breaking through, the spirits have gone on ahead to locate and kill the king before he can escape, is the idea. But since we don't have a city looking battlefield, we'll say this is on the outskirts of Arnor. Arnor is already in hiding, trying to make good his escape, and the spirits have found him ahead of the orcs and trolls. So the objectives for the game are: the evil player has to kill Arvedui or Malbeth, and the good side has to wipe out the evil player. And that is literally it. And Arvedui does have a special rule in here. Any model within 3 inches of him can reroll their failed courage test. So I think there'll be a lot of Arnorians moving around. Yes. So we'll deploy it all up and then come back with that, I think. So this is the deployment, how the game starts out. All the spectres are on the way through the forest to the outskirts of Arnor, where Arvedui has been alerted. Where is he? There he is, in the middle.
By the banner.
So yeah, they've all deployed 3 inches apart, along mostly this edge, not around the other side. And Malbeth is over there in a separate building to Arvedui. So good, always start with priority. I think I'll just do a summary of each round rather than film everything to keep it a bit more interesting. So Tom will move and Luke will respond, probably with some casting shenanigans, I guess. Spectral. So that is turn 1 done altogether, actually, just movement for this one, no shooting or fighting. Tom moved Malbeth and the captain's little band over towards Arvedui. He moved over more this side to try and press advantage while the shade isn't around. However, this sneaky barrelite down here has paralysed the banner. He does have 2 friends in base contact with him, so he can give it a go. So you get 3 dice.
Himself? No.
Nope.
Man next to him? Yep.
Oh, we woke up. We only spent 1 will on it, so I'll take that off. And Tom passed 3, maybe 4 courage tests. He passed 1 with Arvedui, who's hiding down in by the tree. He definitely passed 1 with the captain. I think he passed at least 2 more with the warriors.
1 with a reroll.
1 with a reroll as well, so that's come in handy. So Luke hasn't managed to manoeuvre him around at all yet, but that luck won't last. So we'll go into next turn priority.
And choose the blue dice.
Tom's going blue this time.
6.
So Tom's moving first. Not always a good thing though, because Luke can move you around, so we'll come back after the next. This is the board after turn 2 movement. Luke had a bit more success moving people around. This guy thought he saw something in a bush, so was made to run that way. This guy got, jeez, I've got something in my eye. This guy was pulled away by, I think, this spectre, and then paralysed by that barrowite, and since charged. Arvedui also got paralysed and charged by a spectre. These guys weren't quite in range of anything yet, but they're starting to wrap and push. The forces are good, sort of up against this building a little bit. So we have 2 combats to go through. Combats, which are automatically won by Luke, and he gets double dice. So Tom's priority, so you can choose which one you automatically lose first.
I'll automatically lose the Warrior of Arnor.
The Warrior of Arnor, so double strikes. I think you have Spectral Blades.
He's courage 2.
So we'll be 4. Yeah, 6 are definitely dead. Whoa. That's 1 gone. And then the other one, double strikes, needing 5 on Arvedui. Nothing there. So he'll just. He's technically trapped.
Away, so he touches 2 people.
But it's the Spectre that moves back, so he's trapped, isn't he? Technically. So that concludes that exciting round of combat.
I can try and unparalyze.
Yes, so you have Arvedui you can try, and Banner in support.
No. Banner? Oh.
No. So Arvedui remains paralysed for the next turn, so we'll go into turn 3 priority. 2 should be evil this time, and is. So we'll come back after the next. So this is after turn 3's movement. Luke had much more success moving stuff around. The banner got moved over there. He's just gradually making his way back. The captain was made to sprint all the way away from these guys. Malbeth has managed now to get himself within 6 inches of the still paralysed Arvedui, whilst this guy was also fell lighted and paralysed because 1 wasn't enough. So yeah, looking in the spirit's favour, they're doing their job at the moment. However, they have only killed 1, so you know, not the end of.
I can actually defend Arvedui this time.
And he's got a spear support on Arvedui. However, shall we start with the guy who's definitely lost? Double strikes. 5. They have spectral. What's it thingy? The blade.
Yes.
Kill courage. Yeah.
And Marvel's too far away.
That's too far away to save him this time. So, one where Tom does actually get to roll 1 dice. So Spectre versus Spear Support essentially. Goes to the Spectre. He is technically trapped, so it's double strikes and he fights. He's 3 and a 2 again. Spectre will back
Standing
off.
up time.
Yeah. Just
Spearman.
Spearman can't roll 4.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so just
Arvedui.
Oh,
it's got to be worth the might.
Yes, he will might it.
Get his
And
rubber
stop
off.
dribbling. And take his rubber off and stop dribbling.
What's the laughter about?
Turn 4 priority. So, suddenly swung back potentially in Tom's favour. You mind Luke's new flaw. Hear him cry every time.
6.
Goes to evil. Any heroics from Tom?
Yes.
So Arvedui's a might down, but
I think
Malbeth's got
Malbeth.
one. Uses only might for him? We'll come back once moves happen. So it looks like after turn 4, so Luke used 2 will, the last 2 will on Goldie over here, to try and paralyse Arvedui. Arvedui used both of his will and did resist it, but does now pretty much have to kill that Barrow White. Otherwise, he still has 3 left to do pretty much whatever he wants to the King of the North. Captain's run further over that way, being pestered by that spirit over there, so that's 70 points, 55 model flying out the way. This guy's gone to look at that tree again. The banner did pass his courage test to stay, and all the spear supports have stuck around as well, despite Luke's best efforts to scare them off. The Shade is now in range and is activating his will point, 1 of 8. As a reminder, we're using all new rules. So fight phase. Did you want to roll into this portion next to the fights? Whose priority was it? Was it Tom's?
No. Shrek, can't deliver it.
So it's Luke's. So where would you like to go first?
Let's do Malbeth first.
Malbeth. So it's literally just Malbeth versus Spectre because he's not supporting that. Spectre wins. Banner it to a 6. Not a 5 to kill it. No. And we are also using Hatred Angmar.
Oh, what does that mean?
So +1 to wound, which doesn't help here, but for future. So this one we've got Arvedui with 3 attacks because new rules, and 2 Orizwana versus Barrow White. Barrow White gets 3.
What's the fight value of everyone?
5 for Arvedui, 4 for the Warriors, and 2 for the Barrow White.
So I can feint with everyone.
Yes. Yeah, and leave the spear support 5 value in there.
Yeah.
Cool.
So feinting Arvedui
Gets higher.
Yeah.
So it's 6s for everyone, defense 7, 2 wounds.
What if he's strength 5?
He's strength 4, he's not Arvedui is 5 because it's +1 to wound because HP. So Arvedui gets 1, he can re-roll that one.
No.
Nope. And then 2, well, 1 fainter.
Feinting.
Yeah, that'll do it. 2 6s, even without the hatred. So that gets rid of the paralysed will.
Good.
Arvedui is safe from paralysis. So that rounds up that combat, so it's turn 5. Priority now. Tom kicks off with a 4. And Luke gets a 6. So it is evil again. It's starting to drain the stats of the good now.
I won't do anything.
He won't do anything. So Luke's reign of terror will continue.
Yeah.
I think this was turn 5. This is what happened. Pretty much everything's in battle now. The captain did not get compelled this way this time, so he's Scooby-Doo chasing that ghost down through the buildings. This guy has once again stopped looking at trees and made himself useful. I think Luke failed every single fell light. Or good credit to Tom, he passed every single fell light with a couple of rerolls in there. So that's turning out pretty powerful in this scenario. So it was Luke's priority. So his decision of combats. We've got Malbeth with supporter, banner and supporter against 1 Spectre. How that's going to go. Spectre versus Warrior of Arnor, Arbaduri versus Spectre, and 2 warriors versus Barrow White. And the Shade, I assume, is activating his ability. Activate! So, where are we going first? Spectre versus Malbeth, and a bunch of dudes. So,
Can I use your banner?
so the vector roll.
Malbeth has got a staff. What does that do?
Bash.
Bash.
Bash me.
He's going to bash it.
So is that to roll to bash or roll to win the
Stun?
fight?
Probably
That's to
stun,
win the
actually.
fight, yeah.
Stun's different from bash, is it?
Yeah, it's stun, you're right. That makes him fight one
Yeah.
attack next turn.
If you get a 4 up or something.
Done it!
Well, he's stunned.
Stunned.
But then
No,
you
I can
have
try and
3 other dice that can try
Kill
and
him.
kill the Spectre. Hatred. So yes.
Oh.
Yes. There's Dead Spectre. Yeah, that was pretty inevitable anyway. So, where next? It's 1-1 down the bottom. So, Spectre gets a 5.
Banner.
1 banner reroll. Spectre wins. 4 up. Oh, Dead Warrior. It's a bit more like it from the Ghosties. Barrow White versus 2. See what we're doing. Goes to good. No wins though. That way. And then just Arbaduri versus Spectre. It's good from the Spectre. 4, 5, 6. I'll be that. 4. Very much dead.
Confirmed.
Forgot to do your -1s, but I don't think it actually made a difference for any
I
of
was
those.
having a look.
Yeah, you were watching. Okay. So yeah, you didn't roll for your warrior Malbeth to save him, but that's a 3, isn't it? Which makes it easier because I can't remember where he was. So going to turn 6, it's pretty even. You could go horribly wrong any minute.
Three dead each. So.
He will get a 4. Could get a 4, so it goes to good. No might on the evil side, so that'll go. So Luke didn't get any movement this turn. Tom passed all of his courage tests to charge all the spirits. The captain did fail his courage test, but he did spend 2 might and a will to charge a spectre because he could have ended up over there. So no, he wasn't doing anything else, so might as well. And his might, will, and fate doesn't carry over. He resets because he is unnamed. So combats. Should we roll over here again so I don't have to stand up? Tom's choice this time.
The mighty captain.
The captain against Spectre.
Captain, cowardly customers.
2.
He does.
And
Oh, he's so
no,
powerful.
3 and a 1. Poor round from the captain. Awful all round. Where next?
Spearman here.
So it's a 2 on 2.
I'll feint with the blue dice.
Tom gets a 6, so the 5
It's a
value.
5.
But it will be -1. Oh, it's a 6. Oh, nothing Tom can do about it. Shade works. Forced to kill. Yes, mucho defo. Shriek. Where next?
Malbeth.
Yeah, Malbeth and Spearsport versus
Malbeth will
1.
be the blue dice.
So it's a, what have we done? It's a 3. Oh, it's a 6.
Why is it
Again.
2 dice?
Is it this one? Oh, it's
No, it's down here.
Oh, sorry.
Still win.
Banner.
Oh yeah, you can win it on 6. It is a 2. There is no
Right.
kill though.
I need to roll for my Malbeth, so he's back.
Well remembered. Back from the dead as a Spectre. So it is Arbaduri and Spearsport versus Barrow White and Shade. It is a 2 from the evil and a 3 from the good.
3.
So it is enough.
3.
What's he going
my
for?
rolls to win?
So you need 5s against everything.
No,
Yeah.
I'll go all on the...
Wait. Usually it'd be 6s by 4s, so it'd be 5s by 3s for the warrior against the shade, or just 5s for the barrow white, and I'll do just needs 5s for everything.
So the spearman's going for the barrow white. No,
It doesn't wound.
I'll do on the barrow white.
1 wound. No. No.
Too much to get it?
This might carry it over maybe if he doesn't get it back.
No, I'll save
He doesn't have
it.
any will anyway, so
I'll save
it's
it.
not worth it. Cool, so that rounds up turn 6. That went well for the good again. I think it's pushing heavily in their favour now, but we'll see what they can do. A few failed courage tests and who knows.
Yeah.
Evil get for turn 7, 2, 5, so it goes to good again. So potentially a better round from the captain this time. He passed his courage test on an 8 to get into that Spectre. Tom only failed 1 courage test. I think that guy failed last time actually.
Yeah.
That ring's still on his arm, clearly weighing him down. And everything else has been charged. Tom trying to press his advantage. So where would you like to start in the turn 7 combats?
Let's start with this one.
So he said
going to
alerts then.
actually shield.
Oh, what? What is this?
So you-
Goes to
Oh, no.
Shade. Shade side, Spectre person.
Oh,
he
no,
kills him as
incidents.
well.
Hang on.
Malbeth?
Oh.
No good. Where next?
We'll do him. He's going to faint.
So it's 2 warriors, again a 6,
5.
and a 6, nothing that Tom can do about it. Because the Shade. 4s. He's gone.
New dice. at
You
home.
dice at home.
Hang on.
Oh, Malbeth.
Oh.
No good. 2. Now it just leaves the heroes.
The spear's going to follow Malbeth.
Following Malbeth. So
Malbeth
that one
is
first.
blue.
4s down to 3s. Winning for the Shade. That was a
Is
4.
this one, yeah?
Yeah, so it goes to the Shade. 4 to 5 to win, something to win, not a 2. And then Arvidui, that's a 1 wound barrel white, there's a 6 there, down to a 5. No, there's only 3. Single 5 will do it. No.
Might point.
Oh, campaign might point.
Hang on. +1.
No, it'd be 6s normally, with +1.
Yeah, +1. Might.
Might it?
Yeah.
Dead barrel white?
Yeah.
Dead barrel white. Ooh. So Arvidui has now used 2 might, which he has to try and get back at the end of the end of the game for the next scenario, because Gullivar will be chasing him down. So hopefully he gets those back.
Oh.
Oh yes, the most important one of all, Captain versus Spectre. Captain gets a 6, and that'll do it because Shade is a bit out of 6. But Captain absolutely fluffs it again. Brilliant. Turn 8 combat. There's not much left for the Spectres, but that did go quite well for them that turn.
2.
2 goes to Evil. You have a might left with each.
No.
Not going to use them. So Luke's going to start moving some stuff. Well, Luke had an opportunity to move stuff around, but Tom passed everything on rerolls mostly, but that rule is very, very powerful. This captain also passed, but the Spectre charged him anyway, so should we start with that? 1. Spectre gets a 5, it's good. 5 value takes it. And that will kill him with the Hatred Arnor. That takes him out again. Luke's choices.
Banner.
Banner versus 1 on 1 is a -2 for the banner. So he takes out a 6. Oh no, he could kill him. Oh, that would have been so good. That would have been so handy. But alas, he does survive. 2 on 1 down there.
One will faint.
4 for Evil. That's down to a 5. That's enough for the Warriors.
Blue faint. Oh.
Wrong way around. No kill. Is that a 1 on 1? 1 on 1. That's a 1. This goes to the Arnor though, because of 5 value. And that is a kill on a 6 over there. Ooh, and then madness is the Shade versus both heroes, King Arvidui and...
Arvidui's fainting.
Of course he is. 9. Takes it. 5s. Actually, I think Malbeth does need 6s, but that is enough. Yeah, he got 2 1s, reroll, nothing, so it's just a single wound from Malbeth, believe it or not. So Luke is down to the 3 models. So coming to the closing stages of the battle, Arnor are defending their kin valiantly. So we'll go into turn 9. 9. Good. 5. Angmar. 4. Goes to good. So he has been dubbed Captain Fail, however he has managed to leap that fence, which Luke reminded me the 2 did fail to jump it earlier, but everything once again. Tom is passing courage tests for fun at the moment. Everything is charged. Luke wasn't able to manoeuvre him where he wanted, so it is all Tom's decisions. Where are we going?
Let's go to Malbeth.
Albeth, who's fighting one with a Spitsport.
You can be the blue dice.
6! Oh, it's enough.
It's
nothing,
impossible.
nothing to do about it. Shade does only have 2 will left after this turn, though. That's a...
He's courage 5.
The no wound. It was a good effort. Shade? Shade.
No
Let's do
shield.
Shade versus 1. Dirty shield. After a 5.
Very sporty.
Brilliant.
He's needing to win it, I'll say that much.
Arbitrary
Fainting.
Spectre. That is a 5. Oh yes, from the Spectre. Chance to have a dig at the king. Is
Damn it.
not good enough. Needed to be a 5. Courage 5 the king. Oh, had a couple of chances there, the evil, but no damage done on either side. Turn 10?
10.
I think yes.
1.
It will go to evil. You still have 1 might left with each time.
I've used Malbeth's might.
Have you?
Yeah, earlier.
Oh yes, you did earlier. Yes, so I lied last turn. You have 1 left.
I'll save it.
Using saving. Okay. Come back when. This is it after turn 10. Captain Failure is over there. he's done his bit. He's killed his 1 Spectre. The Shade has gone for Arvidui, as that is the objective, and the Spectre's gone for that one. And that Spectre is going to bravely try and kill the banner right now, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
So we'll do that on first.
And a 2 blue dice.
So 3, 2. Ooh. Ah, he's taking it on the banner reroll. And they have slain the Spectre. So only 1 will left for the Shade as well for next turn, so needs to make use of it if you can. So Malbeth and Friend against 1 Spectre. Spectre gets a 5, it's good.
Malbeth and blue.
It needs to be a 6, 'tis not. 'Tis still not. 5 for the Spectre. Oh, he's had chances, it just hasn't come at the right time. Arvidui and Friend versus Shade.
Fainting.
6 down to 5. Where is it? It's a 4. Not good enough.
Oh.
Fainting, 2 rerolls. Nothing. So it's still on 2 wounds. Only 1 will left for the Shade though. I'd imagine this could well be the last turn, depending on who gets priority, I think. Essentially, turn 11 goes to Evil. Last mic to move or saving it just in case? Save it, think. This captain is really indecisive. He's made his way back gradually toward his king, but I think they're going to get the job done now. It's the Shade's last point of will as well. So it was Luke's priority, so you probably want to start with that one just in case the Shade dies. Yeah, it's a 3, 4 Spectre. 4, 5, yeah, that'll do. Trapped 4s all
Malbeth.
round. Malbeth gets a kill, double 6. So he annihilated that spirit. You should have stayed dead. Arvidui and Friend versus Shade.
Fainting.
3 for the Shade. 6 in there. And no wounds. However, we'll probably call it the end there. Yeah, I'd imagine it is a Shade with no will versus a fair. You killed it. Killed about half, yeah. So we'll call it there. Yeah, and then we'll do the recovery rolls for what. So, with good victory, because both heroes did survive and they essentially wiped out the evil force, Tom will now roll to recover their stats. Because they won scenario, it'll be a 3+ for each stat. So we'll start with Malbeth. Although, don't know whether he's not in the next scenario actually. So he's irrelevant. So he's just Arvidui. He spent 2 might and 2 will, and that is it. Otherwise he's quite healthy. So do you want to start with the 2 might?
Let's do 2 might.
2 might, he gets both back. So he won the scenario, so it's 3+. 2 will, gets both back. So he is completely healthy, ready to take on the flying vampire monster, which he might have a harder time against in the Flight into the North scenario. So comment, like, share and subscribe. and look out for the next one. Yes. The Killer King scenario. Sorry it was cut a bit short at the end and perhaps a little bit anticlimactic. Was hoping sort of like a one-on-one between the Shades and Ardu by the end, but the Arnor did a very good job of clearing out the Angmar. I did play this semi-recently with old rules, and the same thing happened. Arnor annihilated Angmar, so the new rule change didn't seem to affect it that much, which is okay. Tom and Luke really enjoyed playing it. Although Tom did pass a lot of the courage tests, I still think it's pretty hard for Angmar to kill one of the two heroes. There's a lot of warriors to keep them safe, because they do outnumber the spirits, who are obviously weaker in the fight as well. So yeah, Ardu survives and moves on to the next scenario, which is Flight into the North, where he gets chased down by a terrifying bat monster in Gullibar. So we'll see how he fares in that one. In the meantime, don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell button so you get notified when we upload other videos, because this will be a weekly instalment. So every, and at this point I'm going to put up, see that every Friday evening or every Saturday. So make sure you keep an eye out for all the future scenarios, because there are 99 more to go. So